Greetings, everyone, and welcome to day 485, June the 23rd, 2023. I'm coming to you tonight with a special update. Of course, it's in our normal schedule, but tonight's update is special. We're only going to talk about one key thing that has happened over the last few hours. Right now, social media is blowing up with all of this news about a coup in Russia. And tonight, we're going to get it clear. I'm going to tell you exactly what has happened, and then going to get a response from Zhenya coming from inside Ukraine, who will speak to the situation as well. We want you guys to be fully updated on what has really happened. We thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to like, support, share, comment. We thank you for even calling on us when maybe you agree or disagree, and we can have civil conversations about what is happening in Ukraine and the rest of the world. And listen, we're here always trying to learn, trying to get better, and just trying to help Ukraine and share the truth. So thank you for being here. Right now, I'm currently in Central Virginia. For those of you that know, I've spent 5 months on the front lines in Ukraine fighting the war, helping soldiers, helping civilians, and sharing good news. Currently, I'm actually in Central Virginia, and I am speaking for the last 3 days at an event. Zhenya did the update on Wednesday. I'm going to have him here in just a second to answer my one question for him. And right now, I'm actually going to be speaking here in just a couple of hours, and I'm actually speaking about what? About Ukraine. So I have a group meeting down here, and it's lasted 3 days, a seminar, symposium on what is happening in Ukraine, raising support, telling the truth, getting the message out, and talking about what is unfolding in our world here in 2023. So thank you for being here. So folks, yes, war's continuing today. Ukraine pushing, taking some villages. Russia pushing back. Basically, in the south, Ukraine is doing a great job making some pushes. But the actual amount of territory taken versus given up, it's very, very minimal. Now, Ukraine, it's not over yet. The counteroffensive just going and getting underway, but Ukraine doing a good job. Russia, however, in the northeast, as we've been talking about in the areas around Liman, are responding very aggressively and very brutal. The bottom line is all the battles along the front line right now are intense, and many people are dying on both sides. You know, we've talked about the Novokakhovka Dam being blown and the results of that. I can tell you, maybe you know this or not, but there was a dam in Kryvyi Rog that was there was an attempt to destroy it just a couple of nights ago with Caliber-class cruise missiles. Fortunately, they missed, or we'd be dealing with another disaster of that nature. I can tell you also right now, in regard to the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, Ukraine is moving a group of soldiers into a particular proximity where they can respond if there is some type of altercation or accident there at the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. As we've been sharing, even President Zelensky now is crying out to the world saying, listen to me. There's going to be a provocation at the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. And I know, in fact, in our meetings down here in Virginia, I actually have a guy that works at a nuclear power plant, and we've been discussing this, and brilliant scientist, nerdola. And he was even talking about it. Okay, you know, it's really going to take a major provocation for there to be a nuclear accident there at Zaporozhye. However, there can be other types of accidents that happen depending on what Russia has done on the inside of the plant, because really these nuclear power plants are fortresses, and they are designed to keep these things from happening. But, he said, who knows what's on the inside of that plant? We know that for weeks and months, there has been a provocation prepared. Plenty of supplies, troops, equipment there. So we shall see. But I can tell you, Ukraine responding, doing everything that they can. Now, I want to jump ahead and talk to the main topic tonight. I've been receiving lots of messages today, lots of comments. Greg, are you seeing the coup d'etat that is happening in Russia? Do you see the overthrow of the government that's happening? Prigozhin is marching on Moscow, and Vladimir Putin has then went into hiding. He's in a bunker somewhere. Vladimir Putin hasn't been seen for 24 hours. Shoigu has come down to the backside of Rostov, and he's firing missiles on the Wagners. Folks, none of that is true. Zero. Let me help you understand this, because this is running around like wildfire right now on social media. Here's what happened. Videos came out and news came out that the Russian forces had struck the Wagner division with missiles on the backside, over there in the east side of Ukraine. They're resting, they're preparing for more work, and there's this message comes out in video and these audio clips with Prigozhin screaming that Russia, Shoigu, has rained down missiles on top of our Wagnerites. We're gonna fight them, and the Wagners turn and they start fighting against the Russian forces. Folks, none of that is true. The next thing is, Prigozhin has declared a military coup d'etat, and we're going to march on Moscow, and we're going to take over this land and not fail the way we are failing right now in Ukraine. Not true. Shoigu has arrived in Rostov-on-Don, but it's not for that. Most likely it's for a supplying update of the backlines. Once these things begin to happen, Girkin begins to talk and scream out that there's a coup and Russia's going to fall apart, and we're seeing all this happen. Folks, this guy, the terrorist Girkin's always screaming about this stuff. So, no missile rained down on the back troops of the Wagners from Russia. It didn't happen. Secondly, Prigozhin has come out in just the last 90 minutes and said, hold it, we're not having a coup. We're just marching to show our solidarity and to show that we need to stand for what is right in Russia. And the things that are wrong need to be fixed, such as supplying us shells. We all need to stand for Russia. Peskov, who is Putin's spokesperson, came out just a little while ago and says, all of this mess that is going on today, the drama, the soap opera, Vladimir Putin is aware of all of it, and he is making the necessary responses. The National Guard there in the Rostov-on-Don area and many of the border sections, they have been raised to the highest alert. That's what has happened. Vladimir Putin has not disappeared. He's right there in the Kremlin. And Russia then, just a few minutes ago, releasing a statement officially, and I've got it here, quote, it says, all reports of the Prigozhin coup d'etat, the drama with Shoigu, are fake news and propaganda that is being pushed out by the West. They are working to take advantage of our internal conflicts, supply of arms, difference of ideas of military strategy, different thoughts on supply lines, the divisions that are within our country. The West is taking advantage of that through propaganda. Currently, our teams, that's going to be government, military, Wagner, continue to work together for the special military operation that is happening in Ukraine. Make no mistake about it, we are Russians. So folks, that's where we're at right now. So that's how I understand it. That is what is happening now. I want to throw this to Zhenya. Zhenya, you're there, you're over there. I know this has been blowing up. I've been receiving all kind of messages from all over the world. Greg, is it really happening? Is there a coup going on? You've heard my understanding of it from all the sources, and you and I had the same sources. So, in your opinion tonight, Jacob, what's going on there? And this is the big story of the day, the chaos that ensues there in Russia. What's happening?
Hello, dear friends, and coming to the question, what's going on in Russia? At first, I really don't care so much about what's going on there inside of them. Every good sign of, every fight inside of them between armies, it's a good, but it can be distraction, because with all of that, they can use it and creating a fake picture of moving different troops, regiments, groups, battalions, I don't know, any special forces group through the Russia, there and back, different places, and then can try to explain it with that it's all about that conflict. But reality, we do not trust them. Doesn't matter. Shoigu and Prigozhin, all of them are enemies of Ukraine, because all of them are fighting against and killing Ukrainians, and they are, as aggressors and occupants, are going to Ukrainian land and killing Ukrainians. So we cannot trust Russia. Zero. None any news. Probably something going on, but it's nothing changes. It's our enemy, and we have to be prepared. We have to be ready. We have to be on duty, I would say, and watching carefully. Yes, but no relax. Like, that's it. And it's one side. The other side, Prigozhin with Wagner, the military company. I don't know, is it a military company, or I think it's just criminals. Maybe there is Putin and Shoigu are looking for the best option, best time to eliminate that group, which show them as quite effective military. Let's say, like, it's not a military, but criminals, but in the war, they were quite effective. So maybe it's just a time inside and decision to eliminate, to take the Shoigu and Wagner out, because of their fights against of Ukraine. There is some sympathy between Russians to the Wagner and Prigozhin himself. So something going on. It can be a special, like, or there are other operation, special ideas, special scenario, and we do not trust all of them. I do not trust all of them. I don't believe it's like it's a revolution there or something like that. I believe they have their own plan, and they can take Prigozhin out. They can take Prigozhin out, or Wagner out, or take at least using some situation to make them a little bit, less authority, less respect to them. Plus, it can be as well the third thing. Russia is looking for the ways to escalate, and for example, like using nuclear or something like that, at least with some power in it. So the question is, they have to make all Russians supporting their decisions. So this is as well can be used, like, okay, for example, Prigozhin were thinking that it was blaming that it was Russian propaganda attacking their position, but then realizing like that, then making a statement, this is all the Great Britain, for example, or like Ukrainians, and this way Prigozhin, for example, stating together with Shoigu, saying that's enough, we have to answer, and so on and so on. So that's it. We fighting against Russian aggression, doing our best. Do not trust all of them. Doesn't matter. Prigozhin, Shoigu, Peskov, Putin, all of them are liars and our enemy. That is my answer. Thank you to all who support Ukraine, and thank you to all who are looking for the truth, checking information, checking the sources, informational sources. Bye.
Zhenya, thank you for that update coming in tonight. I know that you have been looking at everything up close, not just news and media, but actually talking to our sources, talking to our guys. So folks, there you have it. That's direct from Ukraine. It's simple. Folks, they're going to do anything they can to try to unite Russia. On the outside of the world, it may look like, oh, they're doing this coup or rolling these tanks or there's this battle or that battle. Guys, it's not happening, okay? But what I can tell you is, Jane actually just buzzed me back with another message. He says, hey, make sure that we mention this may have the effect where this is actually done on purpose so that Russia can then look like they're fragmenting apart. And then all of a sudden, we may see a Prigozhin and a Shoigu and a Putin stand together to rally the troops and to rally the nation in this war. Russia definitely wants to escalate it, but they're finding a way. A couple of interesting thoughts there that Zhenya also was sharing with us is what a great distraction to move troops. Brilliant insight, folks. What a distraction to move troops. Oh, we're coming to take care of Wagner, but what we're really doing is we're coming to reinforce for Ukraine. So there are many, many tools in play, but I can tell you 100% tonight, Putin's not in hiding somewhere. Shoigu did roll down there. Prigozhin did make some crazy statements, but we've covered him for a year and a half. He's always making these crazy statements. Russia may want to get rid of him or they may want to stand together. Regardless, they're going to do what benefits Russia. And as we have told you countless times, if the Kremlin is moving their mouth, or these leaders such as a Shoigu or Prigozhin, they're moving their mouths, they're not telling the truth. So there you have it, folks. Thank you for being here. Tonight, we're trying to be right on tap. Many of you may be here tonight watching the update or you're watching it tomorrow on demand. You're going, what on earth are you talking about? I'm not seeing it on any of the news. Well, on social media, this is running crazy today with the coup in Russia. There's no coup. So, folks, we thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to stand with us and to stand with Ukraine. You guys be blessed. Continue to share. Hit the Patreon. Do all the things that we do. Hit the giving link. We're down here tonight. I'm heading to the meeting now to share about Ukraine. You guys be blessed, and we'll see you. Who knows? Next update scheduled for Monday. But if this continues to unfold and new information comes, we'll be here to update you on any major changes. You guys be blessed and have a great Friday night or weekend whenever you're watching. Good night.